The lights went out the second they checked her balance. Not the terminal, not the desk, the entire executive floor. Pitch black, silent, wrong. Then the numbers appeared again. $384 million. And the system started screaming warnings no one in the bank had ever heard before. Dominic Vale, who had mocked her minutes earlier, whispered, "Dear God, who are you?" The girl in ripped clothes hugged herself tighter. I just wanted to see my balance. Nothing about this was normal. Nothing about her was safe. And someone, somewhere, just found out she accessed her account. Just before we dive in, beautiful viewers, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, because it's about to get insane. Let's continue. And don't blink. 3 hours earlier, Lina had stumbled through the glass doors of Rivergate Reserve Bank like someone running from ghosts. Her hoodie was torn at the sleeves. Her sneakers had holes. She clutched a bank card so old and damaged it looked like she'd dug it out of a landfill. "I just want to see my balance," she'd whispered to the lobby full of suited executives and wealthy clients. A man in a tailored Armani had laughed. In that outfit? Probably negative. People had stared. Security had moved toward her. But Mara Dean, who'd worked customer service for 6 years and had seen enough broken people to recognize real desperation, stood up immediately. "Come here," Mara said, her voice cutting through the whispers. "I'll help you." Lina's legs shook so badly she nearly collapsed. Mara caught her by the shoulders, steadying her. "What happened to you?" Mara whispered. "Please," Lina begged, tears welling. "Just help me check it." Mara looked at the card. The magnetic strip was almost completely worn away. The name printed on it was so faded she could barely make it out. This thing wouldn't work in any normal terminal. "I'll need to take you upstairs," Mara said. The whispers started immediately. Upstairs? For her. She probably found that card on the street. What a waste of time. But Mara ignored them. She learned a long time ago that the people who looked like they needed help the least usually needed it the most. And this girl? This girl looked like she was holding on to life by her fingernails. They rode the elevator in silence. Lina hugged herself tight, breathing too fast, eyes darting like she expected something terrible to burst through the walls. Mara wanted to ask questions, but something told her this wasn't the time. When the doors opened to the executive portfolio division, Lina froze. "It's okay," Mara said gently. "We're just checking your balance. That's all." The floor was pristine. Marble. Glass. The kind of quiet that came with extreme wealth. This was where the millionaires and billionaires came. The people who moved markets with phone calls. And standing at the far end, reviewing documents with cold precision, was Dominic Vale. He was tall, sharp-featured, wearing a suit that cost more than most people's cars. His reputation was legendary, ruthless, brilliant, the man who could smell fraud from across a building. He destroyed careers with a single audit, made grown men cry during portfolio reviews. He turned when he heard footsteps. His eyes swept over Lina, torn clothes, wild hair, the battered card in her shaking hand, and his expression twisted into something between amusement and disgust. "What is this?" he asked. "Some kind of joke?" "She needs to check her balance," Mara said firmly. Dominic actually laughed. "Her balance? On what, a gift card from 10 years ago?" His assistant snickered. Mara shot them both a look that could cut steel. Lina stepped forward. Her voice trembled, but her eyes didn't. "Please, just check it." Dominic sighed dramatically. "Fine. Let's see what we're working with here. Maybe you've got $5 saved up. Maybe 10 if you're lucky." Lina handed him the card with both hands, like it was something sacred. He took it between 2 fingers, holding it like it might contaminate him. "What even is this?" he muttered, turning it over. "It looks ancient." "It's mine," Lina said quietly. "My mom told me. She said when things got really bad, I should come here and check it." Dominic's smirk didn't fade. "Well, let's not keep you in suspense." He slid the card into his private terminal. The machine beeped once, then beeped again. Then the screen flashed red, then blue, then loaded an interface Dominic had only seen twice in his entire 10-year career. His smirk died instantly. "What the hell?" he whispered. His assistant leaned in. "Sir, that's a top-tier clearance lock. That's not possible with a car that old." "Shut up," Dominic snapped. eyes locked on the screen. His hands moved fast, entering his executive access code. The system processed. 5 seconds. 10. The room held its breath. Lina held hers longer. The screen loaded. Dominic's jaw dropped. His assistant stepped backward like he'd been slapped. Mara's eyes went wide. This has to be a glitch, Dominic whispered. What does it say? Lina asked. Dominic ran another verification. Then another. The system responded instantly, perfectly. Every single time. It's real, he breathed. It's all real. Lina moved closer. What does it say? Dominic looked at her, and for the first time in his career, arrogance abandoned him completely. Your balance is... The terminal shut off. Complete blackout. The entire floor went dark for 2 full seconds. Gasps echoed through the executive room. Backup servers. Dominic barked. Now! The lights flicker back on. The screen rebooted. Lina clutched her hoodie, panic flooding her face. What's happening? She whispered. Nothing's wrong, Mara said, kneeling beside her. But her voice shook. Dominic slammed his palm on the desk. Who authorized a forced reset during an active scan? No one, sir, his assistant stammered. Dominic reinserted the card. The machine rejected it immediately. Card locked. The system said in a flat, emotionless voice. No, come on. Dominic growled. Override. The machine refused. Lina's breathing quickened. Please don't lose it. Please. It's all I have. We're not losing anything, Dominic said, his voice tight. I saw your number. I saw everything. But someone doesn't want us accessing it again. Mara's voice cracked. Someone? Who? Dominic turned slowly toward Lina. Whoever set up this account built protection layers I've never seen before. This isn't just money. This is something else. Lina's voice was barely audible. My mom's friend, Elias. He said he'd help us once. Dominic went completely still. Elias Rowan? Lina nodded. Dominic looked like someone had punched him in the chest. That man didn't just help you, he said slowly. He built you a fortress. Before Lina could ask what that meant, Dominic's phone rang. He answered it, his face draining of color with every second. He hung up, looked at Mara. That was the central vault, he said quietly. What do they say? Mara whispered. Dominic's hands trembled slightly. They said the account just triggered an external alert. Someone across the city was notified the moment we tried to check the balance. The phone buzzed again. A single message appeared on the screen. Do not access that account again. Final warning. Mara gasped. Lina staggered backward. Am I in danger? Lina asked, her voice breaking. Dominic knelt to her level, his expression more serious than she'd ever seen on any adult. Lina, whoever sent that message doesn't want anyone touching your money. Not the bank. Not me. Not even you. He stood and grabbed his coat, draping it over her shoulders. We're leaving. Right now. But I still don't understand. I'll explain on the way. Move. They hurried toward the elevator. As they walked, Dominic leaned close and whispered something that made Mara's breath catch in her throat. Elias Rowan didn't just leave you money, Lina. He left you his enemies. The elevator doors opened. They stepped inside, and then a hand, large, fast, deliberate, jammed between the closing doors. The doors jerked back open. A man stepped inside, not a bank security guard. This man wore a black tactical vest with no identification, no bank logo, nothing. His face was calm, too calm, like he'd done this 1,000 times before. Dominic's entire body went rigid. You don't work here. The man's eyes passed over Dominic, passed over Mara, and locked onto Lina. Miss Carter, you need to come with me. Lina's heart slammed against her ribs. I don't know you. You don't need to. He extended his hand. Your account has triggered a federal risk assessment. You're required to come in for questioning. That's a lie, Dominic said sharply. There's no such protocol. Step away from her. The man smiled without warmth. Mr. Vale, you really should stay out of this. He reached inside his vest. Dominic immediately pushed Lina behind him. Mara stepped in front too, trembling but fierce. Don't you dare touch her, Mara said. The man pulled out a folded document and opened it slowly. This is an executive retrieval order. Dominic snatched it from his hands, scanning it fast. His jaw tightened. This signature is forged. The officer didn't blink. Won't matter. She's leaving with me either way. What? Lina whispered. What do you want with me? The man's smile widened. You have something that belongs to a very old friend of ours. Dominic stepped forward, fists clenched. You're not taking her anywhere. The guard's eyes flicked to Dominic's throat. Your father would have known better than to get involved. Dominic froze completely. His face went white. Mara glanced at him. But Dominic didn't respond. His shoulders squared. His voice dropped to something lethal. If you say his name, I swear to God. I don't need to say it, the man interrupted. He worked with us. You know the protocols. You know how this ends. Dominic lunged. The guard sidestepped effortlessly and pressed a button on his sleeve. The elevator lights flickered violently. The doors slammed shut, trapping all four of them inside. Lina screamed and pressed herself against the wall. An alarm blasted through the elevator. Red lights flashed. The entire lift lurched downward so hard Mara lost her footing. Dominic, Mara yelled, gripping the handrail. Dominic slammed his fist into the emergency override panel. It sparked but didn't respond. They've hijacked the system. They're taking us to sub-level. The guard stood completely still, bracing himself like this was routine. This will be easier if you don't fight. Dominic grabbed the man by the collar and slammed him into the wall so hard the elevator shook. You're not touching her. The guard twisted Dominic's wrist with brutal efficiency. Dominic choked and dropped to one knee. Mara lunged forward and clawed at the guard's arm. Get off him. The guard shoved her aside. She hit the wall hard, gasping. Stop, Lina shouted. Stop hurting them. The guard turned toward her and froze. Because Lina was holding the card, not like a weapon, just gripping in both hands, desperate and terrified. The guard stared at the faint glow on the card's edge. His face twisted. What is that? Dominic staggered to his feet, breathing hard. You don't know. The guard's composure cracked. For the first time, real fear entered his eyes. That's not possible. That card was destroyed years ago. It wasn't, Dominic said through gritted teeth. Her mother hid it. The guard's voice trembled. Give it to me. Right now. You don't understand what you're holding. Lina clutched it tighter. My mom said never let anyone take it. The elevator jolted violently. Everyone went sprawling. Then it stopped. Not at the ground floor. Not even close. The screen read, Unknown level. Access classified. Dominic's eyes widened in horror. No, this level doesn't exist. The doors opened. Cold air rushed in, stale and metallic, like it hadn't been breathed in years. The hallway beyond was dark, industrial, lined with steel walls and flickering emergency lights. The guard scrambled to his feet. Out, all of you. Now, don't move, Dominic hissed to Lina. Stay close to me. But before anyone could step out, a woman emerged from the shadows. She was middle-aged, her hair pulled back severely, wearing a gray suit with an emblem stitched on the sleeve. An emblem Lina had seen once before, on her mother's old notebook. Lina's breath caught. I know that symbol. Don't say anything, Dominic whispered urgently. The woman's cold eyes fixed on Lina. You look just like her. Lina's throat tightened. Like who? Your mother, the woman said. Emily Carter. The most dangerous woman Elias Rowan ever trusted. Dangerous? Lina's voice cracked. My mom wasn't. Oh, she was, the woman interrupted, stepping closer. She hid things from us. Things we needed. Things Rowan never should have given her. Dominic moved between them. Take one more step and I'll... Dominic Vale, the woman said sharply. I knew your father. He was smart enough to stay out of this. Step aside. Lina grabbed Dominic's sleeve. What does she mean? Why were they after my mom? Dominic didn't answer. Couldn't. The woman sighed. Bring me the card. Now. Lina shook her head violently. No, it's mine. It was never yours, the woman said. It belonged to Elias Rowan. And before he died, he made a catastrophic mistake giving its key to Emily Carter. Lina's voice shook. He gave it to her because she helped him. She saved his life. The woman's expression hardened. He didn't just leave your mother a trust fund, Lina. He gave her access to something else. Something he built in secret. Something that should never have existed. Dominic's voice dropped to a warning. Don't tell her. She's too young. She needs to know, the the woman said. It's her inheritance. My inheritance? Lina whispered. The woman leaned close. Your mother didn't just protect a dying philanthropist. She helped him hide the most dangerous asset this city has ever seen. Dominic grabbed Lina's hand. We need to leave. Now. But the woman kept talking. And that asset isn't money. Lina stepped back, trembling. Then what is it? The woman's voice dropped to something almost gentle. A system. One that can erase any person from the global financial network. Bank accounts. Property. Identity. Everything. Gone. With a single command. Mara gasped. Dominic swore under his breath. Lina blinked. Erase people? Like delete them? Exactly, the woman said. And your mother used it. Once. To save someone she loved. Who? Lina whispered. The woman's eyes shifted to Dominic. Lina turned slowly. Dominic? Dominic's face had gone completely white. His hands shook. Lina, the woman finished the sentence for him. Dominic Vale died 16 years ago. Your mother erased him from every database, every record, every system. The man standing in front of you is a ghost. Rebuilt. Hidden. Protected. Lina staggered backward. That's not possible. It's true, Dominic whispered. His voice broke. I'm not who I was. Your mother destroyed my old life to save me. Rowan gave me a new identity so no one could ever find me. So I could protect you one day. Lina felt like the floor had dropped out from under her. You're telling me you're not real? I'm real, Dominic said, tears welling. I'm just not the version the world remembers. The woman extended her hand. Give me the car, Lina. The key is biometrically bonded to you, but I can extract the access protocol. It won't hurt. Lina stared at her, then at Dominic, then at the card in her hands. Her voice came out small but steady. My mom said people would lie to get this. The woman's expression darkened. Then I'll take it. She reached for Lina. The hallway lights exploded, one by one, plunging everything into absolute darkness. A voice echoed through the steel corridor. Cold, mechanical, inhuman. Step away from the beneficiary. Dominic's voice cracked with disbelief. That's impossible. The guard backed away in terror. The woman looked up at the ceiling. Because the voice wasn't coming from a person. It was coming from the walls themselves. The lights flickered back on, and standing at the far end of the corridor was a figure in a white mask. Mara grabbed Lina's arm. What is that? Dominic's voice barely made it past his lips. Oh my God, he's alive. If you're still watching, drop a like, because the next part will blow your mind. You're not ready for what happens next. The figure didn't move, didn't speak, just stood there in the flickering light, perfectly still, the white mask reflecting nothing, revealing nothing. Lina felt her knees weaken. Dominic, what is that thing? Dominic couldn't answer. His face had gone gray. Mara clutched his arm so hard her knuckles turned white. The woman in the gray suit took a cautious step forward. Her voice lost all its authority. You were decommissioned. You're not supposed to exist anymore. The masked figure tilted its head with mechanical precision. Step away from the beneficiary. Access level Omega has been activated. The air itself seemed to vibrate with the command. Dominic's voice shook. Omega was Rowan's worst-case protocol, a safeguard that only triggered if his heir was in mortal danger. But it required physical activation. It required Rowan himself to turn it on. He's dead, Mara whispered. Exactly, Dominic said, which means something else activated it. Or someone. The guard pressed himself against the elevator wall. No. All Guardian units were destroyed. Every single one. The masked figure began walking toward them. Slow. Deliberate. Each footstep echoed like metal striking stone. Lina stumbled backward. Dominic, please tell me what that is. Dominic grabbed her hand. A Guardian. Rowan built them as private security decades ago. Machines designed to protect one person and one person only. Whoever holds the master key. Me, Lina breathed. Yes, Dominic said. The woman backed up, her calm shattering. This isn't possible. Every Omega unit was dismantled, melted down, gone. The Guardian stopped 5 feet from them. Then it knelt. Not to the woman, not to the guard, not to Dominic, to Lina. Beneficiary authenticated, it said in that cold, synthetic voice. Protection sequence initiated. Lina's breath caught. It's bowing to me. Because that's what Rowan programmed it to do, Dominic whispered. Your mother was the only other person who ever saw one in action. The Guardian rose slowly and turned its masked face toward the gray-suited woman. You are compromising the beneficiary's safety. Stand down immediately. This is a restricted government facility, the woman snapped. You have no jurisdiction here. The Guardian raised one hand. The overhead lights pulsed red. I'm the jurisdiction. The woman's hand darted into her coat. She pulled out a small black device and pressed a button. The corridor lights exploded in a cascade of sparks and shattering glass. A shockwave ripped through the hallway, hurling everyone backward. Lina screamed as she hit the metal floor hard. Mara landed beside her, coughing and disoriented. Dominic dragged Lina behind a fallen support beam. Stay down, he shouted. Emergency lights flickered on through the smoke. The woman was already running deeper into the corridor, yelling into her wrist comm, Initiate full containment. She has a master key. The Guardian emerged from the smoke. It wasn't running. It was gliding, silent and predatory, like something that didn't need to hurry because it always caught its prey. Should we run? Lina gasped. Dominic shook his head. We need to get you out of this level before they seal it completely. He looked at Mara. Help me get her up. But before they could move, steel barriers slammed down behind them with deafening clangs. Another dropped in front, then another behind that. They were being boxed in. Mara pounded on the metal. They're trapping us. Dominic's jaw clenched. They're not after us. They're after her. He turned to Lina. You need to use the card. Now. Lina's hand shook so badly she almost dropped it. Use it how? Dominic pointed to a recessed panel on the wall. That slot matches the coding on your card. It might override the lockdown. What if it makes things worse? Dominic lifted her chin gently, so she was looking directly at him. Your mother trusted Rowan. Rowan trusted you. Trust them both. Lina took a shuddering breath and pushed the card into the slot. The entire floor hummed. Every light in the corridor snapped to green. A voice echoed through hidden speakers. Not the Guardian's voice. A woman's voice. Soft. Familiar. Impossible. My Lina. Lina froze completely. Tears spilled down her cheeks. That's my mom. Dominic's expression tightened. Rowan had her record emergency protocols. They only activate if you use the master key. The voice continued, warm and steady, like her mother was standing right beside her. If you're hearing this, baby, it means someone finally came for what Rowan died to protect. Don't be afraid. You were never meant to run from this. You were meant to inherit it. The walls shifted. The barriers lifted with mechanical precision. But then a second voice layered beneath her mother's. Deeper. Male. Elias Rowan himself. Lina Carter, your mother never told you everything. She couldn't. Not while she was alive. Not while they were still hunting. A section of the far wall split open, revealing a circular chamber filled with thousands of tiny lights, all blinking in synchronized patterns. At its center stood a massive monitor displaying code and data streams. Rowan's voice continued. This is the Arbiter, the system that can erase or restore any financial identity on the planet. Your mother protected it for 12 years. She used it once to save a life. And now it belongs to you. Lina stared in horrified disbelief. I don't want this. I never asked for any of this. Her mother's recorded voice answered, gentle but firm. You don't get to choose destiny, baby. You only choose what to do with it. Mara pulled Lina close. Sweetheart, we don't have to touch anything. We can walk away right now. The Guardian stepped behind Lina, towering over her like a silent sentinel. The Arbiter requires command input, awaiting beneficiary decision. Dominic swallowed hard. Lina, there's something else. Something your mother told my father years ago. Something I need you to know. Lina wiped her tears. What? Dominic hesitated, his voice dropping to barely a whisper. She didn't just protect the Arbiter. She used it to erase me. Completely. My real name was Marcus Hale. I was a forensic accountant investigating Rowan's empire. I found things I shouldn't have. Things that would have destroyed him. But I also found evidence that your mother was innocent, that she was being framed. Lina's voice cracked. So she erased you to protect you? And to protect herself, Dominic said. And to protect you. Because if I testified, they would have come after her. After you. Rowan gave me a new life. Dominic Vale. A ghost. A man who never existed and could never be traced. Mara covered her mouth. My God. Lina looked at him with new eyes. Have you been watching me my whole life? From a distance, Dominic admitted. Always from a distance. Waiting for the day you'd come here. Waiting for the day you'd need me. Lina slowly walked into the chamber. The arbiter's screens brightened as she approached. Data scrolled faster. The Guardian followed her silently. She placed her trembling hand on the main console. 3 options appeared. Erase, target, restore, identity destroy system. The Guardian's voice echoed. Choose beneficiary. Lina stared at the screen, then at Dominic, then at the darkness where the gray-suited woman had disappeared. If I erase someone, Lina whispered, do they just vanish? Yes, Dominic said. Bank accounts, property records, birth certificates, medical history, everything, like they were never born. And if I restore you? Dominic's voice broke. Then Marcus Hale comes back, and everyone who wanted him dead will know exactly where to find him. Lina's hand hovered over the screen. What if I destroy it? Then no one can ever be erased again, Mara said. But also, no one can ever be saved again. Lina closed her eyes. Her mother's voice echoed in her memory. Choose what to do with it. She opened her eyes. A 4th option flickered onto the screen, one that hadn't been there before. Transfer control, new master. The Guardian spoke. Warning, transfer protocol detected. This option is irreversible. Dominic's eyes widened. Lina, don't. If you transfer control, you lose everything. You lose the protection. You lose the money. You lose it all. Lina's voice came out steady, stronger than she'd ever heard herself sound. Maybe that's the point. She pressed the 4th option. The screens exploded with light. The entire level shook. Alarms blared. The arbiter's voice boomed through the chamber. Transfer initiated. Identity scan required. Place hand on biometric reader. Lina looked back at Dominic. I'm giving it to you. Dominic staggered backward. No. Lina, you can't. You've been protecting me my whole life, Lina said, tears streaming. Now protect everyone else. Use it better than they did. Awaiting new master confirmation. Dominic stepped forward, his hand shaking. If I do this, they'll come for me. They'll never stop hunting me. Then you'll finally understand how my mom felt, Lina said. And maybe you'll use it to erase the people who deserve it. Dominic placed his hand on the reader. The system screamed. The arbiter rejected him. The screen flashed red. A harsh buzzer sounded. Dominic's hand was thrown back like he'd touched fire. Transfer denied. Subject already erased. Cannot assign master status to non-entity. Dominic stared at his hand in horror. I'm not real enough. The system doesn't recognize me because I don't exist in any database. Lina's heart sank. Then who can I give it to? Mara stepped forward before she could think. Me? Everyone turned. Mara, no, Dominic said. But Mara was already walking toward the console. I exist. I'm in every system. I'm nobody important, nobody powerful, which means nobody's hunting me. Not yet. Lina grabbed her arm. I can't ask you to do this. Mara knelt down and looked Lina in the eyes. You're not asking. I'm choosing. I've spent 6 years at that customer service desk, watching rich people treat everyone like garbage, watching powerful men destroy lives with a signature. If I can stop even one of them, I will. Awaiting new master confirmation. Mara placed her hand on the biometric reader. The system hummed. Scanned. The lights shifted from red to blue. New master confirmed. Mara Dean. Control transferred. Arbiter now active under new command. The Guardian turned toward Mara and bowed. Master recognized. Mara's eyes went wide. Oh God, what did I just do? The screens around them lit up with access panels, global financial networks, identity databases from every country. Mara had just become the most powerful person in the building. Maybe the city, maybe the world. Dominic grabbed her shoulders. Listen to me. They'll come for you now. Everyone who wanted this system will hunt you down. Then I'll be ready, Mara said, her voice stronger than before. Lina looked at the now blank console in front of her. What about me? What happens to my money? Beneficiary account remains active. Funds secured. Access unrestricted. Dominic exhaled in relief. You still have everything your mother left you, but you're no longer the master. You're free. Lina felt a weight lift off her chest she didn't know she'd been carrying. I don't want to erase people. I don't want that power. I just wanted to eat dinner. Mara smiled through tears. Then let's get you dinner. The Guardian spoke. Exit protocol enabled. Elevator reactivated. They turned toward the corridor. The steel barriers had retracted. The elevator doors stood open, waiting. But before they could move, the woman in the gray suit emerged from the shadows again. This time she wasn't alone. 6 more figures stepped out behind her, all wearing tactical gear, all armed. I was afraid you'd do something stupid, the woman said. Dominic pushed Lina behind him. She transferred control. It's over. You lost. The woman smiled coldly. We didn't lose. We adapted. She looked at Mara. Hello, Mara Dean. Age 32. Lives at 447 Ashland Avenue, apartment 6B. Your mother's name is Patricia. Your sister is Claire. She's 9 years old. Goes to Riverside Elementary. Mara went pale. Don't you dare. Give us access to the arbiter, the woman said, or we visit Claire's school tomorrow. Lina felt rage boil inside her. You can't do that. She's a child. So are you, the woman said. And yet here we are. The Guardian stepped forward. Threat detected. Engaging protection mode. Stand down, the woman said, pulling out a small remote. I detonate the charges we placed on this level 10 minutes ago. Everyone dies, including the beneficiary. The Guardian froze. Dominic's voice shook. You're bluffing. Try me, the woman said. Mara's hands trembled. She looked at the console, then at Lina, then at the woman. If I give you access, you'll leave my family alone? You have my word. Your word means nothing, Dominic spat. But Mara was already walking toward the arbiter. I won't let them hurt Claire. I won't. Lina grabbed her hand. Mara, please. There has to be another way. Mara's eyes filled with tears. There isn't. Not when they threatened children. She placed her hand on the console. I authorized temporary access. Denied, the arbiter said. Master command cannot be coerced. Vocal stress detected. Authorization invalid. The woman's face twisted in fury. Override it. I can't. Mara cried. The system won't let me give access under duress. The woman raised the remote. Then you're all useless to me. Her finger moved toward the button. Lina didn't think. She just moved. She grabbed the card from her pocket and slammed it into the nearest panel. Lina Carter, beneficiary override. Lock down this entire level. Nobody leaves. The arbiter responded instantly. Beneficiary emergency protocol engaged. Level sealed. Oxygen supply limited to 30 minutes. Steel doors slammed shut on every exit. The woman and her team spun around in panic. What did you do? The woman screamed. Trapped us all, Lina said, her voice steady despite the terror coursing through her. You want the arbiter? Fine. But we all suffocate together unless you stand down. Right now. Dominic stared at her in shock. Lina, I'm done running, Lina said. I'm done being scared. The woman's hand shook on the remote. You're bluffing. You'll kill yourself. Maybe, Lina said. But I'll kill you too. And your team. And nobody gets the arbiter. Not you. Not anyone. The room went silent except for the hiss of air being filtered out. 29 minutes remaining. The woman's team looked at each other nervously. One of them spoke up. Ma'am, we should withdraw. This isn't worth. Shut up, the woman snapped. But her hand lowered. Just slightly. Dominic saw the opening. You've lost. Walk away now, and maybe you survive this. The woman stared at Lina with pure hatred. You have no idea what you've just started. Then teach me, Lina said. Who are you? Who do you work for? The woman laughed bitterly. You think this is about one organization? One government? Rowan's arbiter was supposed to be a weapon for those who already had power. Your mother stole it. Hid it. And now you've handed it to a nobody. She glared at Mara. You'll be dead within a month. Maybe, Mara said quietly. But I'll take a lot of you with me. The Guardian stepped beside Mara. Master is under permanent protection. Any threat will be eliminated. The woman shook her head slowly. This isn't over. Yes, it is, Lina said. She looked at the console. Arbiter, release the lockdown. Let them leave. Confirm command. Confirmed. Let them go. The steel doors opened. The woman and her team backed toward the exit, weapons still raised. You just made yourself a target, the woman said to Lina. I've been a target my whole life, Lina replied. I just didn't know it. The woman disappeared into the corridor. Her footsteps echoed away. The Guardian spoke. Threat level decreased. Oxygen restored to normal levels. Lina's legs gave out. She collapsed to the floor, shaking. Dominic caught her, holding her tight. You were incredible, he whispered. Terrifying, but incredible. Mara sat down beside them, still trembling. What do we do now? Dominic looked at the Arbiter, then at Mara, then at Lina. We disappear. All of us. New identities. New lives. The Arbiter can do that. No, Lina said quietly. I'm tired of hiding. My mom hid her whole life, and it killed her. I'm not doing that. Then what? Mara asked. Lina stood up slowly. She walked to the Arbiter one last time. How many people has this system erased? 143 individuals erased since activation. And how many were innocent? The system paused, unable to determine innocence. Moral parameters not defined. Lina looked at Mara. You're the master now. You decide. But I have a suggestion. What? Find those 143 people. Figure out who deserved it and who didn't. And restore the ones who were innocent. Mara's eyes widened. That would expose everything. Everyone would know the Arbiter exists. Good, Lina said. Let them know. Let the world know that erasing people has consequences. That someone's watching now. Someone who will hold them accountable. Dominic shook his head in disbelief. You want to make this public? I want to make them afraid, Lina said. The way they made my mother afraid. The way they made me afraid my whole life. Mara stood up. She walked to the console and placed both hands on it. Arbiter, show me the list. Every person who's been erased. I want names, dates, reasons. Accessing historical records. The screens filled with names. Faces. Stories. Some were criminals. Some were whistleblowers. Some were just people who knew too much. Mara's jaw tightened. We're going to fix this. All of it. The Guardian bowed. Master has issued command. Compliance engaged. Dominic put his arm around Lina's shoulders. Your mother would be proud of you. Lina wiped her tears. I hope so. They stood there for a long moment, looking at the screens, at the names of people who'd been erased from existence. People who deserved a second chance. Then Lina's stomach growled. Everyone turned to look at her. She smiled sheepishly. I still haven't had dinner. Dominic laughed. A real laugh. The first one Lina had heard from him. Come on, let's get you fed. We've got a long road ahead. They walked toward the elevator together. The Guardian followed silently behind them. As the doors closed and they ascended back toward the surface, back toward the world that didn't know what had just happened in the depths below, Lina looked at her reflection in the elevator glass. She looked different, stronger, like someone who'd walked through fire and survived. The doors opened to the main lobby. People stared at them, confused, as they walked past. The man in the Armani suit who'd laughed at Lina earlier was still there. He smirked as they passed. Lina stopped, turned to him. I checked my balance. He raised an eyebrow. And it's enough, she said simply. Then she walked out the glass doors into the sunlight, Dominic and Mara beside her, the Guardian's shadow stretching long behind them. Sometimes the person who looks like they have nothing is the one holding everything. If this story changed how you see power, hit subscribe. Share it, because stories like this deserve to be heard. Thank you for watching and drop a comment below. What would you do with the Arbiter?